Cape Cod. Our firm takes pride in assisting our clients in the next chapter of their lives by taking a holistic approach to their real estate endeavors. We believe that every move should be a moving experience. Every week, my real estate team member Mary Baker and I, along with the director of Boston Connect Real Estate, Melissa Wallace, provide you with our unique marketing approach to selling homes and share with you our expertise in navigating the home buying process. We like to mix it up sometimes, so not only will you hear our perspective on real estate topics, but you will hear the expert thoughts and opinions of some of our real estate agents at Boston Connect Real Estate and the preferred professionals that we trust. Be part of our roundtable. If you have any questions during the show, please call 781-837-4900. We'd love to talk real estate. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever you listen to podcasts at Talk Real Estate Roundtable. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team or one of the dedicated agents at Boston Connect Real Estate to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with us at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000. Now, sit back, relax, take good notes, and let's talk real estate. And good morning to all my South Shore neighbors. This is Sharon McNamara, and you are, of course, listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable here on WATD. It is a wonderful morning so far. I thought we were getting rain, but apparently we are not right now. I am here with my sidekick. Hello.
Hello.
You need no introduction. Everybody knows that this is Melissa Wallace, and she is the Director of Operations and everything else that matters around here at Boston Connect Real Estate. And we have the one and only Tim as our producer in the WATD studio. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, ladies. Good morning, Sharon. Good morning, Melissa.
Hey.
Good morning.
Yes, hey.
Nice to see and hear you. I can't see you. I wish I could see you, though.
Nice to hear you, too. And
nice to be heard.
You can see me in your mind.
Yeah, see me in my mind. Tim was like, are you eating something for breakfast? Cause
No, don't mention that on air. Oh, geez, come on.
he could hear me eating my breakfast.
Well, just when you answer me, good morning, Pam.
Good morning, Tim. You definitely have a breakfast something in your mouth.
Hey, it's all right. It's the morning you're
right?
supposed to have breakfast.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Absolutely. Hey, Tim, you know what? I didn't listen this morning on my way in. Usually I have time to listen. What's the weather today? Is it supposed to rain?
It's going to rain later on.
Oh, okay.
This morning is just cloudy, and then it creeps in later on today. Let's see. Yeah, cloudy rain showers.
Okay.
And can mix with a little sleet at times, maybe.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
And then, okay, I'm putting you on the spot.
What a
I know
day.
this, but you are like the one that knows it all right now. Any update on what happened in Scituate last night? I went to bed sort of early. We haven't been feeling good this week. I've had a headache for 5 straight days. I don't know but what happened in Scituate?
Well, we had there was a big fire across five houses.
Oh, no.
David Cedrone has been mentioning it on our newscast this morning. He did put in a call to the chief, but still waiting back to hear back from him. Probably be more information tomorrow on our newscasts.
Okay, perfect. I knew that you guys have the news, and you guys are the number one for South Shore News. So I
That's
figured
right.
for sure, you know, if we're going to get the information, we're going to get it here. So to all our WTD listeners, listen in later, listen to Tim, because I'm sure he'll give updates as he sees them from the news station. So we're here this morning, and we have a topic. It's sort of like a topic that seems never ending, but then I thought, hey, have we really discussed the necessary things?
Preparing for it.
Yes.
Preparing for the
necessities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Preparing for the necessary things that you have to do when you're selling your house.
Yeah.
And again, I posted a little video. I'm like, oh my gosh, these videos.
I know. Everyone loves their blooper reels, though. So, so that's one of the things, too. If you are listening to us on WATD, we are so grateful that you do listen to our show. We are here every Saturday morning with Tim from 10 to 11, and every Tuesday evening after the news at 6:15 to 7 o'clock with George. And sometimes we have guests, sometimes we have our agents, and then the past 2 shows, we were sort of getting a little like...
Well, you know what? I was just going to say...
hangry almost.
You seem very serious today. And Tracy and I did the show. She's actually watching. Hi, Tracy Grady.
Hey, Tracy.
Hi. Last week, we were like, Tuesdays are our serious show. We've been working all day. We're serious. And Saturdays, we're like a little bit looser. together, like, you know, having fun. And then I'm looking over at you and you're like, yes, and then we're having this. And I'm like, oh, today we have to be serious.
We don't have to be, but what happened to us on Tuesday?
Oh, yeah. Don't listen to Tuesday shows. Julia did upload it, but we might have to delete it.
Yeah, it was one of those shows, Tim. I was just feeling silly, just getting back from our vacation. And
oh, yeah, I hear that.
We just talked about everything other than real estate on our real estate show. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it was fun for us. Yeah. We needed it.
Who doesn't like DJ Khaled?
I know, yeah.
Oh,
we won't go
go
down the line.
Right.
Yeah. DJ Khaled, we were talking about Chance the Rapper because we were talking about The Voice and all that stuff. So,
do you know what I like about, here we are again, what I like about DJ Khaled? I always know his song is coming up because he always
says
starts
his name?
with, because he goes,
he announces himself. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
DJ Khaled!
Like Pitbull does.
Khaled. Yeah.
Like Pitbull when he's like, Mr. Worldwide.
Oh, yes.
We should do our own little show on that type of stuff. But you know what? They live in houses. So, hey, we just brought it right back to real estate. No, but today we are going to talk about the important parts of considerations you have to take when you're putting your house on the market. And a lot of times we talk about, we had a Lynn buyer on with us, one of our full-time agents here at Boston Connect a couple of weeks ago. She was talking about, like, from a staging perspective and her having her other sort of side gig.
Yeah.
Working with hoarders and things like that. And we talk a lot about that type of stuff, but what are you required to do?
Yeah, I mean, we've done shows on Title V and all that stuff, and we've talked about why a Title V is important, but this time we're talking about how are you going to prepare, like, how do you know that is important?
Yeah.
So, and how can you prepare for something like that, preparing for open houses, professional photography. Mm-hmm. Do you know what a smoke inspection is? I mean, we've had, who have we had on from the fire department?
We haven't had anybody on in a while, but
yeah.
I know that, they said that they would come back on with us.
Yeah, we'll have to have somebody back on because we always tell people to change the batteries in there.
Yeah, that's what we usually do. Daylight savings.
Oh, yeah, we had daylight savings.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm still sleeping. I'm still recovering from that 1 hour.
Yeah, I feel like I'm still in January, which is the weird thing. But I keep on anticipating a snowstorm coming, but...
Yeah, well...
I know. I can't say that out loud.
Stop it. I know we haven't got past April 1st yet, but don't make it any worse.
Well, April 1st, that storm we had,
yes.
We had that blizzard. It was April 1st. Mark and I were the last plane to land in Logan, coming back from Jamaica for like a 4-day getaway. Yeah, and the best part about that was a tan looks really good on a foot of snow.
Yes, got that nice contrast. Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of times when people are putting their home on the market, we also have Ginny Wandell in the house. She's here every Saturday, by the way. Ginny Wandell is one of our full-time real estate agents here at Boston Connect Real Estate, and she sits here every Saturday, and she calls it Coffee with Ginny. So if you're interested in what is the value of my home, what are the next steps, what do I do if I want to purchase, what came first, the chicken or the egg, any of these topics that we have, Ginny sits here every Saturday. And what time are you generally here from?
Here, Ginny.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm a 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock girl.
Yeah, 10 to 12 every Saturday, sitting in the office. You've had people come by.
And I have somebody. So what happens is if you'd like to meet me some other time, like today, I have somebody else coming in at 1.
Perfect.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So she isn't here just those hours, but it's open hours if you want to meet with Ginny Wandell. She's here generally 10 to 12. She usually has snacks and treats and things like that, but it's more of a casual type, hey, you know what? I'm not sure. So, and that's the question I get a lot of times when people will say, hey, I'm considering putting my house on the market. What are the first steps? What do I have to think about? What do I have to consider? And I think that everybody's mind goes right to staging for some reason or another. That's HGTV.
Yeah. I don't watch that. It just I don't know how you can be submerged in real estate all day every day and then go home to relax on the couch with stuff that you know is not true.
You know what I've been watching lately? One thing I do want to do though, Tim, can you give everybody the phone number so they can they know that they can reach out to you? With any questions?
Yes. The magic telephone number is 781-837-4900. 781-837-4900. And Melissa and Sharon would love to talk to you.
Perfect. Awesome. It doesn't have to be about our topic. Anything real estate is fine. So
yes, if you too watched The Voice, we're happy to discuss.
No, real estate. Real estate. Come on.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, it is. It's weird because I am doing this every day. And it's so interesting, though, because the shows that Mark and I have recently been watching, like we'll go onto YouTube and just watch YouTube videos of like villas in Italy, and like they do things so differently there.
Yeah. I saw a TikTok video the other day.
You shouldn't be watching TikTok. I'm just letting you know.
No, it's bad.
China is watching you.
All right. Well, I was watching TikTok the other day, and this woman was in Italy, and she was walking by this little window, and all you do is put your face in it, and you say, "Oh, I'd like a glass of something," and they just hand you a glass of wine through the window, and you walk away, and I'm like, "Oh,
yeah,
I love that."
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah,
I love that.
They have like little.
That's how it's going to be at my house. Someone walks by, they're like, "Hi, I'd like a glass." I'm like, "Yes, welcome."
Okay. We are definitely sidetracking, but let me tell you this other story.
I just said my house.
I know, but I'm sidetracking a little bit. So I was working with Jim Whaler, who is a developer, and he lives in Hanover, or was living in Hanover, and did a lot of projects in Pembroke. And the foreman was Joe Stack. And Joe Stack now works for Hanover, town of Hanover, and the town of Pembroke as the building inspector. And he was the foreman, and it was the 55 plus development here in Pembroke Center Commons. And it was at the beginning stages. Oh, we have a caller.
Yes, we do. Asking you shall receive. We have Peter in Duxbury.
Hello, Peter in Duxbury.
Good morning. My third child is about to graduate from college, so I just paid my last tuition bill.
Congratulations. We need some bells on that one, Tim.
So, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Yep.
So she's interested in a career in real estate, and she did an intern last summer, and it's a very good experience for her. But what advice would you give to a younger person trying to get into real estate that may not be as credible as someone who's got years of experience? And she's actually a young-looking 21-year-old, although she really has embraced the field and has very good knowledge in there. But is there like an apprenticeship or any like type of startup position that realtors and real estate industry has?
Yeah, so that's such a really, really good question. And I'll tell you, it's one of the reasons why I went out on my own. So I worked for some larger firms. One was in Duxbury, actually, that I worked for. I worked at Ravis for several years. When I was there, I started at Jack Conway and then ended up opening up my own office and firm. And one of the things that's really important in this industry is education. And what happens to the younger demographic is that people who are thinking about buying or selling a house, they're like, wow, this is potentially my biggest and largest investment. How am I going to trust that with somebody so young, right? It's just the facts of how it comes upon us. I'll tell you, one of the things in my firm that we have was the empowerment team. So team for us is training, education, advising, and mentoring. And we sort of coddle those people. So I'm happy, if you want to leave your number, I'm happy to have like a one-on-one conversation with your daughter and with you just to sort of give you some ideas and suggestions as well. I don't want to just say, oh, this is the way to do it because this is how we do it. But just giving you the pros and cons of every type of, possibility. So,
I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, but one of the bigger things is with a small firm, like we're a boutique firm, I am very much active with all of my agents. We just had a few agents actually leave some bigger firms to join us because I'm one-on-one with them. I'm training them everything I know. Like I've been doing this for 22 years. My goal now is their success and helping them. And one of the things that we do with our newer agents who are new to the business is, I know that you might bring up the objection right away. Like anybody that knows you knows you're new, right? So if she's going to be selling for your family and your friends, they're going to be like, okay, come on, like she's so new, she's so young. It's the ability to say, I work one-on-one with the broker of the company. So that's really one of the things that I love about being a boutique is that I can take the time to do that. So for instance, is one of our agents here he's younger, he's 24.
Yeah.
Aaron, he is in our office, and he was here. He was following along. He just got a $700 and something thousand house under agreement in Milton, and there was sort of a conflict with his schedule with something that he couldn't change. And we just put it out. We have like a small Facebook group for our office, and it just says, hey, can anybody help me out here? And we're always helping each other. So I said, don't worry if nobody answers. If nobody answers, then I will do it. So that type of, I guess, the collaboration within a company is really helpful. And the shadowing aspect of it, hey, come shadow me. See what I do at an open house. Come shadow me. See what a home inspection is like.
Yeah.
So those things are important.
I'm such like a visual learner. I have to submerge myself into something in order for me to sort of learn it. And it's not even like learning by fire, because we never throw people to the fire. Yeah. We always are like, come with me to take, put out the fire. Like, come with me to do this. Come with me to do this. So we're very much like not even just one-on-one. We were just working as a group. And we have a young professional networking group too. So I'm young. I'm 32. I'm young, right? We have a lot of younger agents here as well, and we created this young professional networking group, and we try to meet once a month and all just come together and talk about things like this. So, anything that we're going through as agents individually, and we actually don't have an age limit on it. You can be young in spirit. It doesn't really matter. And we're opening it up to everybody sort of in the community as well. So,
And I would say that is the biggest obstacle is, our office is very much on working by referral. That's what I've been doing for just about 22 years now is, you do a really good job. I'm not worried about the next transaction. I'm worried about the one I'm in, which has, laid the path and foundation for a very, very strong referral base for me. And that's how we train our agents here, is always working by referral. We also bring our agents onto our radio show, which you may have heard, because we want to highlight them and their expertise. But like I said, your friends and family, you'll probably refer, like if she does get into the industry, you would refer her to your friends and family, and they might be like, I'm not so sure. But knowing
no doubt.
Yeah, you're teamed up with somebody who's been doing this for 22 years, and the broker owner of the company, who has never had an E&O claim, is 100% standing behind her to mentor her. And that's literally in my title, is I do put that I'm not only the broker owner, but I am a mentor as well. So that's important to us. So finding a firm like that.
So you think it's mostly true with just the boutique firms rather than some of the larger firms that kind of have that arrangement?
Well, I would say, the larger firms definitely have, opportunities where like they send you to class for 2 weeks and they do different things. And again, it's, everything is different. But one of the things I love about being a boutique, it makes us very nimble because you get to talk to the person on top. You get to hang out. So one of the things I'm doing like right now is a mastermind every Monday. And it's not even just for brand new agents. It's agents new to our office. Hey, this is how I did it. This is how I'm successful. Last week, we just were like, all right, what are some of the questions? And one of the agents who's experienced in the industry, she's been doing it for a long time, just didn't get a whole lot of training where she was putting in an offer on a condo, and she's like, what are some of the, considerations that I should be thinking about? So I just masterminded with her, and she's like, oh, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. So that's what I like about that process. Every company has something different, and I'm able to sort of sit down with you and digest a good list of questions to ask when she's looking. The one thing that's important, Dad, is how happy are you to have her still staying at home, because it takes a while. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Therein lies the $1 million question.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
We're fine with that.
Yeah.
I appreciate your lengthy response to me.
Oh no, my pleasure. It does take a while. Like once you get into this industry, it does take a while to get your name out there and to be recognized and to sort of get things rolling. But
it's worth it.
It's worth it. Yeah. At
we
the
think
end of
so.
the day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I thank you, and I'm happy to pass my number along.
Perfect.
I'd love for her to have a conversation with you.
I'm happy to do so. We've had interns here as well from high schools that have, stayed with us, and they have to do a big project at the end. And I was like, listen, I'm extremely competitive when it comes to grades, so we will be getting an A+ on this. It's all about giving it out in slices, right? You give it out in slices, it comes back in loaves. So I'm happy to sit with her and you just to educate you.
Thank you kindly.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. So that was a very, very good question. It is. And, I think that people, because we did bring up HTV, is, sometimes people are very mesmerized by what our job is. And they think of us, just doing the staging, and they see our videos. And that's why every so often we'll do videos, and you'll see Mary like taking videos of me like hanging on a counter, like washing windows. Right.
Yeah. I would say that it's either they're mesmerized or not, because we've gone through, I think we even did a show on it, like just the stigmas that are in this industry. Just like any other industry, there's good, bad, and ugly. So.
And I think that I didn't get what her name was, but what can we call her? Let's give her her name. What's a good name?
Melissa.
Okay, let's just say her name was Melissa. So if, the thing that she has to her advantage is from one little phone call, you can tell that she has a loving, caring dad that supports her regardless. So dad's sphere of influence. Do you hear fire engines?
I do.
It brought me back to 8th grade school when I was with the nuns. And when you hear fire engines, you're supposed to stop and say, God help those people.
Well, there you go. You just did it.
And I just did it. So what was I going to say? Yeah, so she has like a very supportive dad that's there for her. So I think it's a good time if this is truly what she loves. And there's so many different ways you can go with that at such a young age, right?
Well, it's interesting that you say that, because what I was thinking about is there's so many different avenues in real estate that you can do. So like you don't have to be a full-time seller of real estate. There are positions like myself that you can have, a full-time job in this industry and work in the office and do all these things. And there's just so many different, you can be an assistant, you can be all these things. So it's not just, hey, I'm a realtor and I'm on my own and I don't know what I'm doing. It's sort of, how can you even get in through the door? And even that's how Mary started. Mary started out with you as an assistant, and then just sort of grew from there. And now look at her.
Yeah, I know.
She doesn't want to do the show with us because she's too busy.
She's probably listening. She's on her way to Cochise right now doing an open house. No, but that is exactly how Mary started with me.
But I'll just take myself. Like, I love real estate and I love being in this world. I don't want to sell real estate myself. So I positioned myself to still be in the industry and be knowledgeable about everything and train people and sort of run the office. But that's what I like, you know? And
too, because you love the marketing part of things so much. In the business aspect of it, which is what you have your degree in.
I'm more business. Like, I'm all about the business. I told you no when you were away on something. Like, can we order that? I go, oh, that's a great idea, but no.
No, you can't. You cannot order that.
But I like the business part of it.
Which gives you the opportunity, because you love social media so much. If you were your own agent, you really can only do so much social media on yourself, but you're using all your social media and marketing tactics with the whole entire office and all of our agents. So it works out good for you. And two, and again, this is off track, but I'm happy he brought this up because people probably think it's very, very easy in this industry. But that's a very smart dad that Melissa has, because we don't know her name, to ask these questions, because some people now, even like my daughter's husband now, I mean, when they weren't even fiance yet, they were dating, we brought him, he got his license, he came onto the team, and for him, it just wasn't what he was looking for. He's more structure. Like, I like to know that this is where I'm going to be, this is what time I'm going to be there, and that is not what real estate is about. It's very...
You have to be able to sort of fly.
Yeah, like today. Like, I had to switch some things around this afternoon because one of my clients, me and Mary's clients, wants to see a property. So we're going to be putting their condo on the market next week. They want to see this property. I had to switch things, and you have to be willing to do that. I don't even know.
That clock is so wrong. It is 10:30.
Oh, it is? Okay, yeah. All right, well, we're just getting to 10:30, so good point, Mel.
Yeah.
Why don't we end sort of that conversation right there? But if anybody wants to talk to me about this process and what we do here at Boston Connect, I am very happy to sit with you one-on-one. It's, you know what, I respect everybody's confidentiality if you're already an agent, but I feel like that's my know what your purpose is, right? Is that my new little tagline?
Is that your word of the year, purpose?
I think so.
Or was that last year?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
So we are going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll pick up back on our topic. But if you have questions, 781-837-4900, 781-837-4900. We'll be right back. Let's face it, We all get to the point in our lives when our current home no longer suits our everyday needs.
Hi.
With ever-changing living dynamics, addressing your future is all about right-sizing.
Amy
Finding the right size home for you right now. Are you having difficulty with navigating multiple levels in your home? Are you finding that yard work is taking up all of your free time? Do the home maintenance projects seem never-ending? Let us help you find the right size for you right now. I'm Sharon McNamara, the broker-owner of Boston Connect Real Estate. If you would like a one-on-one consultation with me and my team, or one of the dedicated agents at Boston Connect Real Estate to discuss your real estate needs, you can connect with us at bostonconnect.com or 781-826-8000.
And we are back.
We now return to Talk Real Estate, sponsored by
your
Boston
fire.
Connect Real Estate Services on 95.9 WATD.
And we are back. You are listening to Talk Real Estate Roundtable. My name is Melissa Wallace, and I am joined in studio by the one, the only Sharon McNamara.
Woo! Oh, yeah, that reminded me of I just got a goal. Woo! I love the Bruins.
Yeah.
They're doing so good right now, too.
I know. Woo! Okay, so we should talk about our topic, right?
Yeah. So what we were doing was not just things you have to consider, but things that you need to be doing when you're putting your house on the market. So the first one of our top 3 is Title V. So are you required or are you not required? That's sort of the $1 million question. You want me to answer it?
Yeah. You're the Title V queen.
It is so weird that
you're the septic system queen.
I'm so into septic systems, and I have no idea where that comes from. But so Title V is a Title V report is a report that you receive if your house is on a septic system. So people who are listening right now in Weymouth are probably like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What's that mean?
But if you're moving to the South Shore, you should know what it means. So over the years, there's been different types of systems that takes care of the waste that comes out of your house, okay? So you need a Title V report to say that the house has passed Title V, meaning the amount of bedrooms that you have, the septic system will hold the flow of water for that many bedrooms. So everybody thinks that the seller has to do this. Did you know that is not true?
I'm reading it right here. I'd never even thought of these situations.
Yes. So the seller does not have to do it. The reason why the seller ends up doing it is for a couple of reasons. I haven't even read the agenda. So I wonder if I'm on track with them. So the reason why people would want to, the reason why the seller, it always ends up being, okay, the seller has to get the Title V inspection is for a couple of reasons. One is if somebody's going to be buying your house, the bank is not going to give them a loan on a property that has a failed septic system. So as the buyer, as the seller, do you really want the buyer to get their own Title V inspector to do that inspection?
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't if I was a seller. I'd be like, nope, that's something I want to take care of because I trust the person I'm bringing in versus, the buyer bringing in who they want. And so if it fails, then that's where the problem comes in. So the systems are the Title V report is usually good for 2 years. It used to be that if you pumped it every year, for those 2 years, then it would be good for a third year. I think that may have changed, but I don't know for sure. It may have changed, but as far as I knew, that was what the regulation was. But if it's something that you're thinking about, you should call your local Board of Health because every town can also have their own bylaws.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't remember. I know it's different for smoke inspections, but I couldn't remember if it's by town or if it's by the state.
So it's a state-regulated form.
Yeah.
You have to be registered, to do these inspections. A lot of people will go back and forth with, when we refer people, it's like, okay, well, does this person also repair and install septic systems because they'd rather a third-party source that doesn't do either, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely refer people to that, to them, right?
And it's funny because, even in my experience, when we've been looking at houses for me personally and we see that there's been a Title V done, we see the person's name who did it. We're like, oh, yeah, we trust them.
I'm going to say his name. He's not going to mind. Arthur Bloomquist.
Yeah. As soon as we see Arthur, we're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
So it does. It really gives you a sense of comfort when we've been looking at, these Title V reports. And when I see that he did the inspection, it gives me comfort that he did.
I'm pretty sure that pretty much every house that I've considered so far, he has done the inspection. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. Yeah, so he's a great guy. He's good at what he does. And you can go onto his website. I think it's just Google Arthur Bloomquist Septic Systems. Sometimes he has a coupon on his website too. So is it required to do if somebody's getting a loan?
If someone's getting a loan.
Yeah, the bank wants it.
Although there are some situations where you wouldn't have to. So refinancing or any situation where new parties are introduced, or no new parties are introduced, excuse me, a transfer between spouses. So maybe if you're buying out, like you say you're getting divorced and you're buying out your husband or wife.
I would be doing it then. If I was getting divorced, the first thing I would be doing is saying we're doing a Title V inspection because if this baby's failed, you're helping me pay for it.
A transfer between parents and children. Mm-hmm. I never even thought of these situations. A transfer between full siblings.
Yeah.
What situation would that be? Like,
I'm sell my house to my sister.
Yeah, okay. Where full siblings, what about half?
I guess it doesn't matter. It's only blood related.
Where the property is held in a trust. So you don't have to do it if you're in a trust?
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
That might be a state one, but I don't know about that one. I would consult an attorney.
I would question that one.
Yeah. No, because if you're in a trust and you're selling your house, we still have to do Title V because the bank is not going to give you money. It's going to, maybe because an outside source is buying it, like someone who, it's not an arm's length transaction.
Yeah.
That's why you would have to do it.
Yeah, you should. You have to do it.
Yeah.
Those were the situations that were on here.
Yeah. So once you have the report done too, it's good for 2 years. And supposedly you're supposed to get, if it fails and you decide not to sell your house, you're still supposed to get the system fixed. I don't know if there are Title V police out there. I have no idea. Every town would be different. I don't know that anyone would come knocking on your door and say, hey, you're almost at your 2 years. I do know that a lot of towns do have financing in low interest loans through your Board of Health when they have certain monies available to get the loan to do it. And then it's sort of an assessment on your taxes.
Well, the reason why we put this on the list for when you're selling your house is we are big advocates of getting your Title V done before you put your house on the market. Doesn't mean that you're going to get dollar for dollar back if you have to replace it. However, you know that where you're going to be financially with that situation, because that could be a huge cost. Oh, yeah. It could be a little repair that you have to do. It could be nothing. You've been maintaining it and that's great. Or you have a complete replace.
Yeah.
And that could be very pricey. And that is going to be a consideration of even if you can sell.
Yeah. And too, I think when Title V is done, it might be that you need, like you were just saying, or maybe you need to like replace the D-box, or maybe you just need a riser.
Yeah.
Maybe you just have to change out the filter, things like that. Little things. I mean, little things like that do come up. But if you have no money anyways, you're in a position where you have no money, these are things that you're going to have to consider, like where is that money going to come from? If you do have to replace the whole system, as Mel was just saying, then yes, you have to be prepared for that. And we sort of want to price the house accordingly because, as Mel said, you're not going to get dollar for dollar back. If you have to put in a $20,000 septic system, you're not going to get dollar for dollar. If I'm a buyer's agent and when I go look at a 3-bedroom Cape or a 4-bedroom Colonial or whatever it is, my client wants to be sure that when they flush the toilet, it's not gurgling in the backyard, right?
Well, it's also a consideration if, you're selling your house and you have a 50-year-old septic system because it has stand the test of 50 years. But it's probably going to fail soon.
Yes. And not only that is if you have a past with a 50-year-old system and who was living in there. So it was somebody who aged in place. For the last 30 years, it's been that person and their maybe significant other who potentially is now deceased. And it's one 90-year-old person living in the house. Yeah. I mean, how much can they...
Well, this was something that I was considering one of the houses that I had looked at, and we had looked at it a couple of times, and I just couldn't put an offer in on it. Not just the house itself would have been perfect for just me, but it had a 40-year-old septic system. And as a single woman moving into my first house, I was concerned that maybe in the next 2 years I'd have to replace the septic system, and I just didn't want to take on that burden.
Yes.
So it's a consideration of a lot of buyers out there. They want to know the age of the septic system and how you've been maintaining it during your home ownership.
And too, I think, as we were talking, I mean, when it comes to pricing your home, if you have that 40, 50-year-old system, then we can easily say, okay, well, people's concerns like that, we can say, well, we feel the house is priced according to the condition it's in. If you have a brand new system that's going to last a long, long time thereafter, then yeah, we can bump up the price more. And it's more the marketability of that it makes it more marketable. More people are going to be interested in it. Like if that other house had a new septic system in it, potentially you would have put an offer in on it, right? So what does that do? That raises the interest of how many buyers would potentially put in an offer. What happens when we have multiple offers?
It goes over asking?
Yeah, it usually goes over asking. Then people are, doing that. So potentially you get more money if you replaced your system. So that is one thing. The reason, so I just talked about it. I was going to say one of the reasons why it's a good idea to do it before is so you can price the house accordingly.
Yeah. And you just should know. you should know if it passes or fails before you put your house on the market. I'm sorry. I feel very strongly about that.
Well, there are other areas in the country that do it differently. The buyer is responsible to do the Title V inspection.
Yeah. I think we talked about that when we did the pre-home inspection show, right?
Yeah, we did with the women that I know from Clubhouse. They were agents in different areas.
Yeah.
Wild. I don't like that idea.
I don't like that idea either. Because what if that buyer falls through? Then you get another buyer. Now you're testing the system 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah. So, all right. Again, 781-837-4900. If you have any questions for us regarding this topic, things that you are required to do or maybe not when you're putting your home on the market, or any questions regarding real estate, give us a buzz, 781-837-4900. On our list over here, we have number 2, but you want to talk about number 3?
Smoke detector and carbon monoxide inspection?
Yeah.
What does that say? Who? Hoon?
No, it says when.
Oh, it says it says WHON. I was like, Hoon?
No, my E closed up there.
When should you do the smoke detector? So what do we tell people? 2 weeks before closing? At least 2 weeks before closing, because each town, again, is different. They have certain regulations. There's a statewide regulation for all inspections and smoke detectors and stuff, but each town could add. They can't take away from it, correct?
Exactly.
So they can add their own element to the requirements. And we always advise people to do it at least 2 weeks before, because sometimes they're only good for 30 days to 60 days before closing. Okay. And you need this certificate to bring to the closing table. But also, if for some reason it's not working, you need a electrician or something, it gives you that buffer before closing to get that done, because this is a requirement you need. And there are certain, situations where you won't, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to need
and it does sort of go back to that, is a bank going to give you a loan on a property that doesn't have a smoke inspection done on it? So it's the smoke detector and the carbon monoxide detectors that has the inspection. And a bank is not going to give you any, they're not going to give you the loan on that. So what comes up sometimes is people with cash, but it is still recommended by the attorneys, generally on both sides, to have the smoke detectors in working order. And to have the smoke detector inspection. And
every town is different. Like some towns only do their inspections on Tuesdays. Like some towns only do their inspections in the morning, or they give a 2-hour window or whatever. We actually have a comment. Kristen Howlett, who's a full-time realtor here at Boston Connect Real Estate, she does the show with us a lot. Good
morning, Kristen.
Good morning, Kristen. She says a knowledgeable agent will know what the specifics of the town are. For instance, if they're backlogged, you don't maybe want to wait until 2 weeks before. So again, you can do it a month before. It all depends on
how long it's
good for. So I definitely wouldn't advise anything more than like 3 weeks, maybe even a month.
Well, when people are doing like 3 months beforehand, it's going to expire. So every town is different. And Kristen makes such a very good point there is, know your town and know the specifications for each town. And that is what your professional real estate agent is for. Because if it's only good for 30 days, or if it's only good, or is it good for 60 days? You know, if it's good for 60 days, then heck, yeah, go ahead, do it sooner than later. It gives you more time. But if it's only good for 30 days, if timelines are tight at the end, like we're starting to see again, like, unfortunately, we could probably do a show on this. Things starting to fall apart again because of rising rates. We're also seeing that things are getting pushed out a little bit longer. Yeah. So, you know, when you start to see those types of things, and again, if you do it earlier so you know you have it and then it expires, guess what? You can always get it done again. So that was a good point by Kristen. Again, Kristen Howlett, who is a full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate.
Sorry, I have a frog in my throat.
I am her accountability partner.
Yes, you guys are accountability partners.
She's like, I feel like I made a deal with the devil. No, you did not.
So yeah, and your realtor should have all those regulations because, you know, if they're consistently doing business in this town, they're going to know it like the back of their hand.
Absolutely.
There's a fee associated with that as well. So make sure you have a check. Most likely it's going to be a check. So if you don't know how to fill out a check, I can teach you.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like I've been teaching people how to write checks.
Yeah. Well, we have a new program in the office too, but you can't do that with the smoke detectors.
No.
And that is, again, it is really important about knowing each town and what those regulations are. So generally speaking, when Mary and I are helping a client sell a home, we send them out a constant contact that has a list of all the things that they're responsible for. And it has, actually, you do that for us, don't you? And you send out like what the town regulations are. So I'll just give an example. The town of Pembroke has a regulation that you have to have a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector.
And where? Go ahead.
Over the
dryer.
Over the dryer, the clothes dryer.
We have a caller.
Yes, we do. We have Barbara in Plymouth.
Hello, Barbara in Plymouth.
Hello. I enjoy listening to you very much on Saturday morning.
Oh, thank you for listening.
Yeah, and I have an older home, and I was just listening to your topic about the septic systems and the Title V, and you mentioned you recommended a man to do the Title V, and I think you said Bloomquist.
Yes. Arthur Bloomquist is his name. Yep.
Oh, okay, because I tried to Google him, and
we'll get his number.
We'll get his number.
Yeah,
we have his business cards here. And it is, he is wonderful. And if you call him, make sure you say, hey, I was listening to Sharon McNamara's show, and she suggested you because he is the best. And
I will.
One of the things, I'm glad you brought us back onto that topic, because one of the things I failed to mention is sometimes, and you said you tried Googling it and couldn't find it, people will Google what you should do, what you shouldn't do when you're going to get your Title V inspected. And one of the things, and I don't think that this is you, but sometimes people are looking for ways around so it will get a pass. You should not pump your system before you have your inspection, because that would be an automatic fail in several towns.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yes. And the other thing is, I actually texted Arthur last week and asked him this question, is can you do an inspection that's just for informational purposes only? Meaning he goes out there, he inspects it. If it is a fail or a pass, either way, it doesn't get automatically processed through the town.
Yeah.
So that's really important. Now, there are some towns that if you have it inspected, regardless, it has to be recorded with the town. So that would be a good question for him, because he did not say Plymouth. He did give me a couple of towns. I think it was Hanson and Pembroke. That if you do an informational purposes only, he still has to record it with the town.
Oh boy, I'll check with him.
Excuse me, ladies.
Call.
I think I have Arthur's phone number here.
Perfect.
His business is Title V inspections, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Phone number is 781-585 2666.
Great. Thank you so much. And again, I really liked listening to your program.
Oh, well, thank you so much
for listening to
even
us.
when we go off track, is that okay? Like, sometimes we're just silly.
I love it because it brings you down to earth.
Oh, thank you.
It's very, very good. You do a great job.
Well, perfect.
Thank you so much.
If you need any other help, offline with any of that type of stuff, just let us know. And if you need someone to give you an evaluation on your home, let us know that too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, we'll talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
It's funny that she said bring it back to earth, because what do you say, that you're the helium balloon and I'm the string?
You are. Yes, I am. I could be off topic every single minute of the day, to be quite honest. So, but I'm glad that she brought that up, because there were a couple other things that I saw in our notes here is definitely do not, and people sometimes try to get away with things. So, don't get it pumped because you think then it's going to look like it passed. Yeah. So all of that is recorded when it is pumped, so you will get caught. You should just be doing the right thing, because if you don't, the nuns would tell you, hey, that's going to hang over your head for a lifetime. And who wants to be in purgatory over a septic system?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't relate. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true, yeah. I suppose.
Could you imagine going getting to your final resting days and being concerned, I should have never tried to get away with having a past septic system.
Yeah, I mean, you could get sued, too.
Oh, yeah.
You could get sued. You'd be on your final resting bed in prison and think, I shouldn't have done this.
That's perfect.
What is that, like a deathbed confession or something?
Yeah, I'll have a lobster dinner and a priest. Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. I cheated on the Title V inspection.
I apologize. Please let Arthur know. I'm sorry. We're silly.
You made my morning, Mel. Okay.
Yeah. So that's that. Sorry about your nun situation. Anyways, we gotta get back on topic. What are we talking about?
Sorry, but you're making me laugh so hard. Okay, so we were just talking about the top 3 things that we think of, things that you should be really considering, rather than the fluff. Okay, yeah, we can go in there. I'm a certified staging professional. I can help you stage your house. These are the real hardcore things that you need to be thinking about. One is, and I know we have a couple of our agents from Boston Connect that are on here. Hey, girls, call in to the studio 781-837-4900, because I would love your input on this. So I think we have Tracy and Kristen up there. Pre-home inspection. This has been such a topic on Clubhouse, which is an app I listen to every single morning. There's so much controversy over should you or shouldn't you. And what I've come down to, it's all geographic. People out in California and the other sand states, so like Arizona and Florida, they tend to think that this is a great idea. Then there's me from the Boston area.
There's us.
Yeah, who have homes, by the way, built in the 1800s, right? And then somebody who's from Philly. Well, she does do it. Anna does do it. But and then somebody from New York. And they think, no, you wouldn't do this. Because we are a caveat emptor state, so buyer beware. And here's what I want you to feel comfortable with. If you're buying a home, if you know that you're selling your home and you know that there's a defect, you need to tell your agent.
You have to disclose that.
You have to disclose that. So anything that you have to disclose, which is where I get hung up on this pre-home inspection process, right? Because anything and everything that comes up, you then have to disclose. And again, I'm not trying to hide anything, but you might be in a position where the seller doesn't have the means to maybe make smaller repairs. And when you see these home inspections, they're 15 pages long.
Yeah.
So a loose doorknob, whatever.
Oh, we have a caller.
Who's that caller?
Yes, one of your teammates, Kristen Hallett's on the line.
Hello, Kristen Hallett.
Hello.
Hi. Do you miss us? Do you miss the show?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm currently waiting for my mom, who's perpetually late, to check out her wedding venue.
Oh, that's fun. I have to go to your house and pick up boxes at some point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, we don't have much time left, so I really want to get your down and dirty on this. What are your thoughts on pre-home inspections, pros and cons?
No.
All right. So, and that was Kristen Hallett.
And that was Kristen Hallett, full-time realtor. Yeah, go ahead. No.
I don't think it's necessary.
Okay, why?
Because, well, I think, number one, some things that may be of concern to you may not be of concern to the buyer. Mm-hmm. And I think we hear that all the time. Mm-hmm. That I will say, Sharon, you might remember this. I had somebody who had a termite issue, but they had a termite prevention program in place, and he was crazy about it. The buyers did not care. Yep. They were happy that the program was in place. He got himself in such a tizzy about the fact that, you know, they had possible termites 20 years before that, but the program was in place. Everything was, you know, as it should, and the buyer really wasn't concerned about it.
Mm-hmm. And I think with bigger things, right? So like as we're going through, we're not inspectors, but as we're going through a house, this happens to me all the time. I will say, hey, that black stuff looks like mold-like substance. I think that you should have that looked at, because a buyer definitely is going to care about that, right? So like some of those bigger things that we might come across. But I think that the buyer wants to have their own inspection. So having a pre-home inspection, mm-hmm. and then the buyer having their own inspection, I feel as if they're going to be picking up on maybe different things. And like you said, what's important to the buyer? They're the ones that are going to live here forever. But anything that's a major concern has to be disclosed. So
exactly,
if the seller knows that, you know, the house is sliding off the foundation, they should be disclosing that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I'm a big discloser. I tell my sellers all this, you know what, you're better off disclosing it.
It will come up.
You're better off, it will definitely come up in your, and a lot of times, sometimes it jogs the memory of, oh wait, we did take care of that, or we do have paperwork for that, or, you know what I mean? Just, mm-hmm. I guess a good conversation pre-selling is much better than spending the money on a pre-home inspection.
And too, you're pricing your house according to the condition it's in. So a lot of that matters too. So, you know, if you have older windows and things like that, that would come up in a home inspection, correct? Like this window doesn't go up and down, or this is stuck, this sash is, or this window is fogged. Well, those are things we're looking at too, but we're pricing the house according to the condition. We're not ever pricing a house in the condition of what it would be if it were brand new. So if, you know, we have this pre-home inspection and then we're giving it to all the buyers and it says, well, the windows are older. I mean, we're having that same conversation. Well, it's priced according to the condition.
Yeah. And I don't trust anybody, so I want to do my own home inspection.
You have trust issues.
Yes.
Yeah, I have trust issues.
But I guess the exception to the rule would be a seller who, and we have them, who is extremely proud of their home and they want to make sure that everything is done. Well, if you're going to do a pre-home inspection and you're going to take care of everything, that's a different discussion.
It really is. And you know what? This is a really good topic maybe for us to continue on Tuesday, and maybe Kristen can join us in studio. Again, that was Kristen Howlett, who is a full-time real estate agent here at Boston Connect Real Estate. She truly is one of the best of the best. So you can find her on bostonconnect.com. All her information is there. And Mel, do you want to bring us out?
Yes. So thanks for listening. And we will probably continue this topic on Tuesday. TalkRealEstateRoundtable.com if you want to listen to any of our past shows.
And thank you to all our callers. Bye, Tim.
Bye,
have a great
Tim.
day
Bye.
and a great weekend.
Bye, you too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.